11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. What a fight! I think Canelo won it.
Juan, the Hispanic causing panic, Lascano.
Thanks to those joining me live and those that will be joining me on the archive. Shout out to Nando, Haplotype, Chicano Prophet, Viva Padres. Who am I missing? Troy Mack. Shout out to all you guys on the YouTube side. Those on X, you could always come on the YouTube channel. D-Style Boxing. Come in the chat, join the chat, hit the like, hit the bell so that way you're notified every time D-Style Boxing comes on live. Calix this week is sick, ladies and gentlemen. He put that out on. I'm not putting his personal business out there. He tweeted that out. Okay, I'm just for people like this dude putting like what are talking like, you know what I mean? But he tweeted out that he hasn't been feeling well, and so there's no podcast this week. So shout out to Calix. All right. There's this rumor going around that I put some brujeria on him because he was talking shit about Isaac Cruz. That's absolutely not true. I'm totally against brujeria. I would never do something like that. I mean, come on, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? I think it was Nando that put on that damn, rumor out there. Like, I don't understand this, bro. You know what I mean? But like, it is what it is. Calix caught the case of the bronchitis or something. But I know it's a whole thing with the Carl Frotz thing. Look, but next week we'll be back full swing tomorrow. The roundtable. We'll have Lyndon from Boxing Deep Dive on, trying to see who else I could get on, and we'll go from there. So much to talk about, so much to tackle. First of all, the Bud pay-per-view against Madrimov did not do very good, according to Kevin Ioli, who's been covering boxing for years. For what it's worth, he's the one that reported it. His sources told him that this event was a colossal failure in terms of revenue. Many tickets were given away. As you know, the week of the fight, those that kept track, we have people that keep track of, the ticket sales, and there was many tickets still available. They sliced the prices in half, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Turki announced that the event's totally sold out, right? But from what my understanding, there was a lot of comp tickets, a lot of tickets given away. It is what it is. But also, as you know, it was on pay-per-view. I bought it. I paid for it. Okay. And to be exact, I paid for the event. I transferred the money via Cash App to a friend who put it at his house, and I watched it there. All right. And it was like a good $90. All right. And I bought the pay-per-view. I supported the pay-per-view. Right. But unfortunately, many boxing fans out there did not support the pay-per-view because the pay-per-view, according to Kevin Ioli, did not do very well. I don't think you have to be an expert to know that Bud versus Madrimov wasn't going to sell very well. I don't think you have to be an expert to know that. But nonetheless, it did not do anything remotely close to what it needed to do in order to break even. In fact, it lost $10 million, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! 10 million. And from my understanding, even during the the broadcast, I heard somebody say, they put a lot of money to get people out here, right? A lot of money was spent in promoting locally and promoting the event. And they have to pay Eminem, they have to pay Bud, they have to pay Madrimov, they have to pay Andy Ruiz. They probably have to pay for Andy Ruiz's food, which probably took up a lot of time. I'm kidding, all right? But a lot of guys were making six figures, right? Bud made 7 figures. Some dudes like Madrimov, they made like 700,000. Yeah, Added Ruiz made almost $1 million, and then Bud made close to 3 million according to what they put out, right? I know there's people out there going, no, they made more than that. This is just what they're saying. Well, that's true. My God, they lost even more money. So at the end of the day, a lot of you Bud fans, I know a lot of you talk a lot of shit. You talk all this shit on Twitter and social media, but y'all don't buy his fights. What you need to do is support because he's a great fighter. The one thing you'll never hear me say about Bud is that he's not a great fighter. All right. One of the most talented fighters of our generation, one of the most talented fighters ever. And he can't sell because many of you dudes out there don't buy his fights. Right? And most of you were on this, you're just anti Canelo platforms, and you kind of, it's whatever, because you talk more about Canelo and all that. But at the end of the day, maybe you should spend more time buying the dude's fights. Maybe you should spend more time concentrating on Bud. Like, you know what I mean? 10 million negative. They lost 10 million. They lost more money than the fight purses. What? I don't think they paid out 10 million in fight purses because, again, Bud made like almost 3 million. And Madrimov made like 700,000. So that's like, let's say that's just short of 4 million. Andy Ruiz maybe gets into 6. And then some guys made like 500,000. And then there was a big drop off there. So it's about that. But that is amazing. And you know what you want to find very amazing? What I find amazing about this whole Saudi thing? Turki Al-Sheikh is now talking about fair prices and fair amounts of money, fair offers, but that's not how they were talking just last year. Just last year, right? Just last year, which is not that long ago. Just last year, they were talking about all types of shit. Just last year. Do you guys remember Tyson Fury when he did the fight with Chisora, and then he was talking about and he announced his retirement, and they even stripped him of the ring belt, and the WBC gave him like a timeline to come back, and you saw like he's saying he doesn't need to fight Usyk, and Usyk's a midget, and Usyk's a foreigner. Dude got very xenophobic when it came to Usyk, and he did all these things, right? And Turki Al-Sheikh bent over backwards. And the talk last week was premium prices. We're paying premium price for these fights. I forgot what the fuck Fury made. I forgot how much Fury made. To be honest with you, I think it was like 40, 50 million or some crazy shit like that to fight Ngannou. A guy making his boxing debut. An 0-0 boxer. And Ngannou made, Ariel Helwani had reported 20 million, but the other reports said 10 million. So let's go with 10. He paid Ngannou $10 million. But he paid Bud less than 3 million. I believe Ngannou made 20 million against AJ. B-side, by the way, that means AJ made more. AJ made more money. Okay, so I'm talking about B-side Ngannou. 20 million. He paid Bud 2-point-something million. 3-division lineal champion, 2-division undisputed. That's what you paid him? When you're over here calling him a legend, you're going to do whatever you want. Whatever he wants, I'll give it to him. And okay, cool. Hey, good for Bud. Get your bag is my advice to Bud. None of this. I'm not attacking Bud. I'm attacking a lot of his loudmouth supporters out there that don't buy his fights. All right? I'm it is what it is. plenty of people out there are fans of both Bud and Canelo. Don't let this so-called rivalry between two diehard boxing fan bases get it twisted. Okay, I'm just putting that out there. All right. And Turki Al-Sheikh has now decided that he no longer wants to work with Canelo. I have moved on from Canelo because I made him an offer, a fair offer. You pay. Look, guys, from what I've been told, and anybody can prove me wrong otherwise, because you look at the figures, what it's sold here, what it's sold in the UK, and all that, like, and what they paid Fury and Usyk plus the undercard plus the money and promotion and all that. The Usyk Fury fight lost money. It probably lost more money than this event, right? But you had no problem paying Tyson Fury 30, 40 million, whatever it was to fight Ngannou, and then whatever you paid him to. I've heard all types of figures. If you guys know the figures, you can put them in the chat. To what they paid both Usyk and Fury, plus he was paid for like Fury's training facility and everything. This is crazy, bro. But when it comes to Canelo, just because Canelo said, look, bro, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys. Jay Will, 1.5 million where? And what was the price tag? They didn't do 1.5 million in the US. I'll tell you that right now. In the US, which is the market that charges the most, $80 a pop or $90 a pop, it did nowhere near that. So it's closer to zero than 1.5 million. I'll put it that way. All right. But other market that charged $29, yeah, I don't think that even made money. All right. I'll just put it that way. But I don't even care. But my issue is that Turki Al-Sheikh is coming out. And he's starting to flex his money. He got mad because Canelo said, and you know what? I'm going to keep it a buck. Canelo's right here. Like it is what it is, bro. Canelo said, look, you're talking about how I got to fight and you're going to offer me to fight in February. And Turki Al-Sheikh needs to understand that on this side of the globe, right, in North America, you need the Mexican and Mexican-American fan base, period. All right? Let me get the super chat, by the way. Alexander Wilson, I appreciate the support, brother. All right? Much appreciated.
I'm a hard-working man.
It's a hard-working man. All right? None of the Saudi cards made money. Fury Usyk lost $27 million from UK papers. Well, there you go. I should probably read the super chat before I went on that long tangent. Also, I don't think Canelo has been meaningful. I don't think Canelo has been in a meaningful fight since Bivol. All right? Fair take. All right? And I want to make sure people understand because everyone just has very narrow-minded thinking, right? Especially if they don't like me. There's people out there that don't like me, and they'll just kind of just assume. You know what I mean? Like they watch with hater-aid glasses on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this time. No matter what I say, like, oh, he's wrong about that because I don't like him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's whatever to me. But just hear me out. With all that said, Canelo's right. Like you don't call the shots on the date, bro. You just don't. And why am I making the point about the Mexican American fan base? And I don't care. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Right? Saul Canelo Alvarez, on this side of the world especially, is the face of boxing. And he has a backing of a fan base that pays money, that speaks for their wallets. Doesn't speak on Twitter, okay? Doesn't pretend to be, let me just put it this way. his fan base speaks with their wallet. All right. So, and that's, and I touched on this the other day. Of course, there's aspects of Canelo that could be frustrating, and maybe we don't like, and like it's whatever. Like, you know what I mean? However, you can't deny that he is the face of boxing, and he fights in May and September generally, right? I understand there's been situations for whatever reason, whether he was switching promotional companies, whether he was in negotiations, whether a negotiation fell apart, whatever it is that where he didn't fight on the September date. But you know, May for sure, he always fights in the May day. Whether it was Billy Joe Saunders, right? Whether it was, speaking of Bivol, whether it was the Ryder fight this year, or previous year, I'm sorry, or the Munguia fight this year. And you could go down the line. He always fights in May, but you're demanding, like you're speaking so matter of factly, like he needs to fight Crawford in February. Who the fuck are you, bro? Oh, but Turki's me. Things could be true, but not necessarily related. So the pushback I keep getting for fans are, oh, Turkey, he's just about making the big fights. Why are you against it? I never said I was against that. But if you don't understand that the Mexican fan base is very important to boxing, and you supposedly want to do big things in boxing on this side of the world, right? But you want to intentionally conflict, right, with the Mexican fight dates, and you want to conflict with the top name in Mexican boxing, of course Canelo's going to look at you like, who the fuck are you, dude? Of course he's going to look at him that way. And that's what Canelo said yesterday. He said, look, that's not how you do it, bro. Like look, it's cool and all, but like, I don't need that. I'm not asking for what you want. But if you want to work with me, it's going to be my way. And I know people don't like Canelo saying that. For some reason that bothers people when he says that, right? When Canelo's saying, look, he's basically saying, I'm the A side here. I call the shots. If you're gonna, if we ever do a Crawford fight, in other words, we're gonna do it in May, brother. We're gonna do it in September. We're not gonna do this thing where you're gonna tell me what date to do it at. And anybody who doesn't understand that, it's just a flat out hater. Because what leverage are you, other than, oh, the Saudis have the bag? But guess what? Canelo doesn't need your bag. He doesn't need your money. So that is, you're not going to make Canelo grovel at your feet with money, bro. Like, you're just not, it's not going to happen. Canelo's not going to go sit next to you on a Riyadh season card and hold your hand. Right? It's this what it is. Dude's like out here, right? Like Hootie and the Blowfish. Right? Hold my hand. You know what I mean? Like I'll take you to the promised land. Hold my hand. Like, this is wants everybody to hold his hand, and everybody just does it because he's giving them millions. But in Canelo's case, I don't need your money. And you're not going to tell me what date to do it at. Look, you guys could hate it. You can like it. You could be whatever. You could be the biggest Canelo hater. But you cannot tell me, even if you hate Canelo's guts, right, that they're going to tell Canelo to give up his May Day to do a fight in early next year. Like, you're just not going to tell me that. You cannot possibly believe that. You cannot tell me you don't see what's happening here. You can't tell me you don't see it. You could not like the Berlanga fight, but also understand that Turki Al-Sheikh is over here openly competing. It didn't matter if it was Berlanga. Canelo could have fought Benavidez. He's still doing the UFC thing. So here is the issue, and I'm going to go over a list of fighters for you. Okay? He throws shots at Tim Tszyu. And everybody's like, oh, that's random. It's not as random as you think. As you could see, just put the puzzle together. It was just announced that he's going to be fighting the IBF champion, right? Likely happens in Australia and a no limit card over there. They do pay-per-views over there. He's a big star over there. He's going to sell out an arena without a problem. They're going to make profits, right? It's not personal. It's just they're doing their own thing. They're doing some good boxing business over there. But Turki Al-Sheikh, like, it's obvious you see, Turki thinks that everything's going to revolve around him and his plans, right? So he has a plan for Crawford. And he wants that plan to go a certain way, but yo, like, there's other fighters around, bro, like that have different plans for themselves, right? So we're going to do this thing called a common denominator, okay? So when it comes to Tim Tszyu, big stars in this country, doesn't really need the American market. He wants to be in the American market, but he doesn't have to, right? Big star in Australia, big deal over there. They sell pay-per-views over there. Just think about that for a second. Inoue. I never seen Inoue part of Riyadh season or none of that. Okay. Inoue did an unbelievable $20 million gate over there in the Tokyo Dome against Neri. It was one of the most watched sporting events ever over there. Prime promotes his shit heavy over there. And what happened? Turkey, he was being a hater, bro. I caught it. As soon as they, like, publications were coming out saying, yeah, you know what, we're going to have Inoue number one pound for pound. Immediately the Turkey comes out, oh, no, he's a good fighter, but he's not pound for pound. And he was talking about it like it's crazy to have a number one pound for pound. He was hating, I'm sorry, right? Well, we already know Inoue's a big star over there. That doesn't need Riyadh season. He doesn't need Turki Al-Sheikh's wallet. He doesn't need the Saudi money, right? Tank Davis. Everybody, look, I have a lot of criticism about Tank. Everybody knows, no one's going to accuse me of being a Tank fanboy, okay? It isn't going to happen. But the reality is, Tank Davis generates money. Tank Davis doesn't lose money. He makes money. Right? Tank Davis has done fights where he does $3-4 million at the gate. Tank Davis has done fights where, okay, you could laugh at the 250,000 buys, but guess what? It's still generating money, right? He makes his own money. So he doesn't have a problem being disrespectful to the Turk. Like, everybody's like, oh my God, how can he talk like that at Turk Ellis? Tank Davis talks like that to everybody. He disrespects Hearn. He disrespects everybody. He even disrespected Floyd Mayweather. Like, what? Just because? What? Because he's His Excellency? Like, what do you mean? What are you dudes over here like groveling at the feet of a dude? Like you got to be so he's His Excellency. Like, he told him, I want 2 Ferraris in my front lawn. Like, oh my God. Like, bro, there's a lot of things I criticize Tank about. That's whatever to me, right? Shout out to Service Music with the super chat. The third has the wrong energy versus the guy who least deserves it. Only Canelo could be criticized for standing his ground and not kissing up to the third. The third is used to getting things his way. Shout out to you, brother. Much appreciated. And as you know, I heard Cerecito Music.
Man, that nigga was that Japanese guy was in shape.
Dude, I heard the dude's in shape. But you know what I mean? Like, so shout out to him, all right, and all that good stuff. But I want to, like, if somebody could please explain to me, like, if You don't see the pattern here? Now the comeback is, well, AJ doesn't need him. He was already a star. No, but AJ already had a history working with the Saudis, and he worked with them in the rematch with Andy Ruiz. And remember, it was reported that AJ made $80 million against Andy Ruiz, and Andy Ruiz made I think 20 million. But everybody, their heads, if that's even true, I don't know. But their heads explode because Canelo's saying, look, bro, if you want to negotiate with me, it's going to be on my terms. Because he's not used to that. Turki Al-Sheikh isn't used to people. Like, if you don't kiss his ass, it's disrespectful. All right? We've seen Canelo be disrespectful. He hasn't been disrespectful to him. He was being disrespectful to Edgar Berlanga. Boom, pow, all that shit. That was being disrespectful to Edgar Berlanga. But all he said to Turki was the truth. Like, yo, we're going to sit down and talk, right? Because you're the one using my name. You're the one saying, I want Crawford versus Canelo. Like you're the one saying you want the fight. You're the one that's been begging for the fight. So if we're going to sit down and talk about it, it's going to be on my terms. That's not that crazy. And you can't say, oh, no. Turki's bringing the money. Canelo brings the money, bitch. Turki is using his government's money. He's very giving with his government's money. And I already see the trend, by the way. I already see that they're willing to spend less and less because last year, as I said earlier, they were talking about premium prices. Now they're talking about fair offers. All of a sudden, they want to offer fair things. All of a sudden, oh, no. Who do you think you are? A charity that's giving money away? No. Like what do you mean? You've been a charity. You're losing money on Usyk and Fury. You're going to lose money again in the rematch. You lost money on this past event. All you do is lose money and give money away like it's charity. All you do is subsidize these purses. All you do is pay fighters above their market value. That's all you do. Well, Canelo, all of a sudden, you're talking about fair, and all of a sudden you want to like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? All of a sudden you want to be fair. Let me tell you something. As much as I don't like the Berlanga fight, and I don't like it, you guys know I've gone on record. Que vale verga la pelea. Right? You're going to see. Canelo's going to smash that dude. Like, it is what it is. Right? A lot of you, you just want to see Berlanga get beat up or whatever it is. Right? I get it. Right? And he will get beat up. But at the end of the day, people keep coming and they're like, oh, but nobody wants to see Canelo fight, yet he sells more than everybody. Oh, but nobody wants, yet he buys more than, like people buy his fights more than they bought this. I told you guys, this fight wasn't going to sell. And they brought everything out. They spent millions promoting it. They threw a big undercard. They threw Eminem in the mix. They did everything. They comped the shit out of seats that bring celebrities in. And we know they did because what's his name spilled the beans. What's the name of that British dude? Man, his name escapes me right now, but he arrived and he's like, well, I think Crawford's going to win. I shouldn't say that because Eddie got me these tickets. Man, you got to comp tickets for celebrities? Celebrities buy tickets to go watch Canelo fight. That's why the gates are so big. Because of the front row tickets. That high rollers and celebrities buy. Right? But you're over here, you're giving away tickets. Like look, bro, it's if you want to make money, you work with Canelo. If you want to make money on this side of the world, Turki Al-Sheikh needs to understand that you need the Mexican American fan base. You need the Mexican fan base and a Mexican American fan base. That's just the truth. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That's the fan base that shows up to the events. That's the fan base that pays for pay-per-view. That's the fan base that supports the sport. So, like, if you want to go against that, and you want to put in millions to compete against that through another sport, then that's on you, bro. That's on you. People could say whatever they want to say. That's on you. And look, the purse is already coming down, guys. That's not an accident. There's a reason Ngannou was getting $20 million to fight AJ, right? And now the purses are dropping. Well, when you lose 20 million plus, close to 30 million on a heavyweight title fight, and you lose another 10 million on this card, and all your cards are losing money, I don't give a fuck how much money the Saudi Arabian government has. It doesn't matter how much money they got. They pull it up. Hey, Turki, come here. One of the other top sheiks comes out. Hey, can you tell me what's we're losing here? Your little baby project with the what's his name? The boxer, the golfer. You lose. Look at this. You lose all this money. Why don't you work with this redhead guy, the Canelo? Like, look at him, make money. Look what he said. Look at this. I don't give a fuck if he's a legend. Americans don't buy. Do the UFC thing instead. I mean, what's going on right here? Canelo ain't going to be told what to do, guys. For better, for worse. You're not going to tell Canelo what the fuck to do, bro. You ain't going to do it. Like, it's not going to happen. And Turki al-Sheikh is like Khaleesi with the fucking dragons and shit, like going city to city and basically saying, like, work with me or I'll burn the city to the ground, right? Canelo is that general. Canelo's that king that's going to draw his fucking sword. And he may get burned out of it, but he don't give a fuck, bro. He don't give a shit. Saul Canelo Alvarez, all right? Saul Canelo Alvarez is the guy that's going to help you make money. You want to make money? You got to work with Canelo on this side of the world, right? He understands this from the UK side when it comes to AJ, but for whatever reason, he doesn't understand it when it comes to this side of the world. And the reality is, you're not going to tell, and this always happens. And you could, in a way, I've seen people in the media call Inoue arrogant and this and that. Why? Because he's not subservient, and he's not, because he's an alpha dude, and he knows he's that dude, right? And he's not afraid to hide it. And he flexes and he says, yo, I'm the king of Japan. This is where the money's at. You want to fight me, you come over here, right? So people don't like that. It is what it is. Tim Tszyu doesn't enter the United States market. Tim Tszyu is a big star over there in Australia. He can theoretically just make a lot of money just doing everything in Australia, doing pay-per-views over there, but he chooses to want to come over here, right, to raise his profile more. But when a Tim Tszyu does a big boy move and says, you know what, I got my own plans. I'm going to do this. Turki Al-Sheikh gets mad and very passive aggressive in his tweets. When Inoue's doing his own thing and making profits and making money, not losing money, making money, he feels some type of way about it. And he can possibly, he starts to campaign hard and get his minions involved to say that Inoue's not pound for pound. He wants to throw money at Tank Davis' way. But there's nothing wrong with that. And when Tank Davis says, no, I'm good, there's a problem. And when Canelo says, look, dude, I don't need you, but if you want to work with me, it's going to be my way. Seen as disrespectful. How can you talk like that about His Excellency? Who does Canelo think he is? How dare he speak about His Excellency this way? How dare he? Like, dude, you guys don't have to call him His Excellency, bro. Like, you just don't. Like, let the people that need him call him that. Like, you don't need to do it as a fan. Like, this is what it is. You know what I mean? That's all Canelo's saying. It's not personal, bro. In reality, if we cut the middleman out of the way, if we cut Turki out of the way, we do Bud versus Canelo, it's going to do massive pay-per-view numbers. Bud will get 20, 30 million out of it. I mean, he'll make more money just doing that. But you want to make 2.3 million, fighting for the Turk, that's cool, bro. Go do that. Hey, Turkey! Hey, we're doing good with the soccer league and with the Ronaldo. We're paying Ronaldo what? Oh, okay, but it's okay. Okay. But it's bringing a lot of attention to our league. Yes. A good Arabian night. Was it a good Arabian? Oh my God, $10 million. For what? He's a legend. No, Turkey. No. We can't do this. Oh no. This is no good. This is no good. Oh no. You pay what? Oh no. Yes. We got a lot of money, but this is just one thing, one person, one night. I don't know. Like, they've gone from paying Ngannou, a B-side fighter, $20 million to now. Bud Crawford's getting. Let's move. You're at $20 million. Let's move the decimal point. They moved the whole decimal point. And that's the fight Madrimov. But what do you think Crawford's going to want? You're right. Like, if he fights Canelo, what do you think he's going to want? You think he's going to take another $3 million? No. And it's Shakur. Shakur didn't think $3 million was enough. So he's going to want more. And if this event didn't sell, you think Shakur's going to sell? How many more events are they going to lose money in, bro? Before the dude above the sheik says, yes, this is no good. We sell oil to make money and not to give away money. We need to see a return in our investment. You know it's coming. That's why they're dropping the prices, bro. I honestly thought they were going to spend more. Like, I thought they must have paid Andy like crazy amount of money because Andy was turning the money Andy was turning down to fight Wilder, and he took less than $1 million to fight Miller in this card. That's just telling me like they're reeling in some of the fighters, obviously, but they're reeling in what they're spending. That's telling me that this dude's been told, Turkey. Hi, Turkey. Aprecio Allah. We can't be spending this amount of money. This is a lot of money. You know what I mean? The Gypsy King not worth that much. The same, and it brought down the money. So I'm just telling you right now, something just smells fishy about this whole thing. I said it yesterday. You know what I mean? And something just fishy about it. Like I'm just there's something I'm more stuff will start coming out, but I just have a bad feeling a lot of this isn't gonna end well. Like I just got this feeling. Right? And I'm already seeing the drop off in the purses. I'm seeing the drop off in what he's now the language is changing. They went from premium price. We're paying premium price, so now we got to offer fair offers. Now we got to be fair, right? Which should have been your whole goal thing from the beginning, but there's a reason a lot of these pieces don't fit in the puzzle right now, right? A lot of things that won't make sense. And the reality is this isn't sustainable unless the Saudis want to do it forever, right? If they want to keep doing it forever, cool. I'm not complaining about the cars. I'm just saying no one's watching them. Right? You can tell me how great that card was. I thought it was a great card too, but nobody watched it. It lost a lot of money. They had to give away tickets to it. It just is what it is. So, the purses are dropping, and they're going to drop even more if this trend continues. Look, I'm just saying. But let me ask you guys a serious question. Do you really believe that Ngannou is worth more than Bud Crawford? Ngannou got $10 million as a B-side. Another fight that didn't make money and didn't generate anything. Okay? So you could say whatever you want. You know what I mean? And I'm seeing the passive aggressive guy subtly. I'm seeing like him lashing out. Right? I'm seeing all the signs. Right? And while I have no problem with somebody investing money in a sport and making great fights, I never once said otherwise. I have no problem at all with that. However, you got to be realistic when it comes to certain fights you got to make, right? And you also got to ask yourself, at what cost is a lot of this happening? Like, we're seeing, like, bro, like, why didn't Ngannou get more? Because first of all, it was last year that we're starting to really launch this Riot season thing. They were hoping to invest a lot of money to bring a lot of attention, and then it didn't quite make them the money they thought it would. So they're reeling them in. Like Turkey has bosses, bro, and they're telling them to reel it in. That's what's happening. And if I'm Turkey's boss, I call them to the office and I tell them, yo, you gotta. The higher sheiks should tell them to just chill out, and a beef with Canelo isn't part of our sports washing agenda here. So like, it doesn't make any sense. Just work with the dude, do a fight card. Like, if he was serious, he would say, I want to work with Canelo in May next year. It's a big date. It's a Mexican fight date. I'll only work Canelo in May if it's a Crawford or Benavidez fight. Cool. You could have conditions, but to say no, well, we're gonna do it in February. So Canelo, take it or leave it. It's not gonna work, bro. So the big spending and dialing it back is a clear sign to me that someone is telling them, yo, like, this whole like, oh, they have a bottomless pit of money that they're willing to spend is bullshit. Because if that was true, they would just pay Canelo what he wants, right? If that was true. So you're crazy if you believe Fury deserves more money than Canelo. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind if you think Usyk is worth more money than Canelo. Now you're definitely out of your mind. You're thinking Gano is worth more money than Canelo. So if you're not out of the gate offering them more money than those guys, then what are we doing? What are we doing? I'm supposed to believe that they paid $80 million to Joshua to fight Andy Ruiz in a rematch, and Andy Ruiz, they paid him like close to $20 million in that fight. But I'm expected to believe that, but for some reason, with Canelo, you don't give us the figure you offered. You don't tell us. Like, Turki never told you what he offered him. I keep hearing, oh, he offered him a lot of money. What did he offer him? You guys don't even know what he offered him. What's your counteroffer? What did you offer? What are you talking about? You guys don't see it? You're blind or what? This dude is going to another sport, giving them money, millions, to compete against boxing. One of boxing's biggest states. And then he's actively trying to coerce Canelo to do a fight and Shaman to do a fight in February to go against his May date, right? Because theoretically, think about it. If he fights in February, it's very unlikely he fights in May, especially if it's against a top-notch opponent. And the UFC, and Dana already came out and said he wants to do a fight card in May. Like, you don't see it? Are you stupid? You can't be blind. And he's actively doing it. And I'll tell you what else. The moment they see, like, if I hope the Sphere is a very successful event. I hope the UFC has an amazing event, and I hope they make a lot of money, right? Because I'm telling you right now, the Saudis may very well just say, you know what, this boxing thing, these boxers want way too much money. We're out. Okay, and we're not talking about Canelo here. We're talking about the fighters that are fighting under Riyadh season who are not worth that net value. Okay, they're paying them above market value. They're getting subsidized charity. Is what they're getting. Okay, that's just the facts. That's why these events are losing money. And they may just drop boxing altogether, and all of a sudden, all these boxers, what the fuck are they going to do? What are y'all going to be saying? I never give up long-term prosperity for short-term gains. That's not me. All right? And all this unnecessary shit, like groveling at this dude's feet and putting him in Hall of Fames and the WBC giving him a commemorative belt and all this it's embarrassing for the sport, for these clapping seals who just stand there and then they just kiss this dude's fucking ass and grovel at his feet. And then you guys can't, like, a lot of you just got this hate for Canelo, you don't see it. A lot of you don't even have the balls, the cojones, to just call it like it is and say Mexican boxing is what keeps the sport alive on this side of the world. Mexican-American fight fans are very important. Those states are very important to boxing. But for whatever reason, you'd rather just hate on Canelo, right, than to say the truth. You don't find it weird what he's doing? You don't find it odd? And he don't even give a fuck about David, by the way. For all you David, he doesn't even give a shit about David Benavidez. Dude openly said, the same guy that you guys keep saying, oh yeah, he wants to fight. He just wants Canelo to do the big fight. He himself said, I don't want the Benavidez fight. I want the Crawford fight. That's what he said. So it just is what it is. All right? Now, I'm not here. You guys have heard me over the weeks, right? You guys have heard of me. I've openly said I don't like the Berlanga fight. So, oh, but he's shut up. Like, get my point. A lot of you are just dumb, bro. Like, sorry. Like there's no way to put it. Some of you just don't. You're clouded. Like, you're clouded with your hate. You can't separate two things. You can't separate, oh, I don't like the Berlanga fight with, yeah, I see what Turkey's doing here. Like, you know what I mean? You can't separate, hey, I like some of those. I like those fights. I did too. I like Fury versus I like the what's called the Day of Reckoning card. I like the I like the 5-on-5. I liked all of it too. But that's not my point. I make a point. Ahí vienen los contrarios. Los Contreras show up. Para todo, tienen que decir lo contrario. Like, I see what he's doing. He's just trying to make it go fight. Like, that's not even what I'm talking about. Him losing money doesn't mean that I like the cards. I'm just telling you it's not sustainable. I'm just saying it's not going to last forever, guys. And this whole, like when I'm listening to Chris Algieri say things like, oh, I think the Saudis will do it. They don't mind losing money. Bro, there's no such thing as somebody that doesn't mind losing money. Like, it doesn't exist, bro. Elon Musk could have done that same card and he would have barely even felt it. Okay, for the amount of money he's got. There's dudes out here with over $100 billion. Like, losing 10 million wouldn't do shit to them. But they wouldn't do it because they don't want to lose money. Nobody does shit to lose money, okay? And this is reaching hundreds of millions of dollars territory, all right? For how long are they going to be able to do that, especially when they could make money doing other things? Like use your mind, use your brains. Money lost is money you can't invest in anymore. All right? You're supposed to turn millions into billions, not lose millions. Right? So at the end of the day, you got to understand that it's not sustainable. Yeah, because I don't like Canelo. I don't like Canelo. Like, I don't give a fuck if you like Canelo or not. Right? Because you don't like Canelo, and I don't give a shit, bro. That's besides the point. Canelo calling the shots is not my opinion. It's not like it's just the truth. He's the face of boxing, right? And now this dude comes out, and it's like, oh, I'm the face of boxing. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's the WBC champion. He's the face of boxing. The Turki LSG guy. Let me ask you, the person watching right now, if your government gave you $1 billion or whatever to make all the fights you want, it doesn't matter if you lose money or not. Think about what would you do with that money? Well, it's not that hard, right? You guys are acting like this dude is taking money out of his wallet and making his money. Like, he's using Saudi Arabia's war chest to make this money, bro. To make these fights because they ain't making money. All right. Everything Saudi does, from bombing their neighbors to selling oil, all of it is about making money. But when it comes to boxing, you guys really believe that it's going to lose money forever. And I at first I thought this might last a good 6-7 years, but I don't think it's going to last so long. It's already looking bad. They're already slashing the shit out of the purses, right? Crawford made less money than he made under Top Rank. I don't know if it's going to last, guys. I just don't know. And I think the frustration that Turki is showing, because he wasn't showing his frustration when Tyson Fury was being difficult, right? When Tyson Fury, let's say I give it to you that Canelo's being very difficult and this, that, and the third. Tyson Fury was making extraordinary demands. Tyson Fury was out here saying that he wants 80% and or whatever he was saying, and then he would agree to something and demand more money, and it looked like the Usyk fight wasn't going to happen. Turki stepped in, right? He tried to be the voice of reason in the situation, and and he bent over backwards and everything for Tyson Fury. And to the point that he made an Ngannou fight with an MMA fighter, paid Fury tens of millions of dollars. He paid Ngannou more money than he paid Bud, right? And then they spend millions on promotion for the Usyk fight. They lost close to 30 million on that fight, all to appease the Gypsy King. But when it comes to Canelo, you do the opposite. When it comes to Canelo, you tell him, take it or leave it. And a lot of you dumbasses, like, because you don't like Canelo, you just agree with it because you just, you're just a bunch of clapping seals. Yeah, Turki. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like you don't see the hypocrisy. You don't see the hypocrisy. You gotta see the hypocrisy. You can't dictate to Canelo. Canelo's already making tens of millions of dollars without you. So if you want Canelo to work with you, then obviously you got to offer Canelo more money. He's not going to make the same amount of money and take demands from you. Like, that's not how it works. How much did Turki offer him? You guys don't even know what he fucking offered him. How much did he offer? You guys could stick to your one-liners, whatever you want, but I just want to know what did he offer him? Was there even an offer? Now, Turki Al-Sheikh is openly beefing with a boxer. Because let's be honest, this boxer didn't bend the knee. If Canelo would have bent the knee, if Canelo would have been like Hootie and the Blowfish's song, Hold My Hand, with Turki Al-Sheikh, if Canelo would have hawked Tuad, Turki Al-Sheikh, like a lot of these other people in the boxing industry do, Canelo would have been the best thing since sliced bread. Turki Al-Sheikh would be heralding Canelo as one of the greatest fighters to ever live. He'd be calling him a legend, right? And he wouldn't be working with the UFC against Canelo, right? Hold my hand. You know what I mean? That's just the reality. So see, you guys could like just tell me whatever you want, but you can't escape the reality that this dude's coming around and he's trying to coerce Canelo into doing a fight in February when that would completely, right? Just like it would just completely derail any plans to fight in May and September. It might be Canelo last year as a professional boxer. Any year could possibly be. And you're trying to just come in and it has to be February? Give me a break. None of that's necessary if you want to work with Canelo. But it's about power. It's what it is. He wants him to bend the knee. Canelo ain't going to bend the knee. Tank isn't going to bend the knee. You guys know, like, I'm not a fan of Tank Davis. He ain't going to bend the knee, bro. I'm not saying that Tim Tszyu and Inoue will never work with a Turk, but they're not going to bend the knee. Okay? Because they don't need him, because they could do their own thing, and that is that. Okay? So is Turki good for... I think Turki's been great for the sport. But a thing called nuance, 92 AKU. Nuance. Okay? But you also got to be honest and look at what could be the long-term negative effects of the sport. Right? And also, somebody needs to stop acting like, look, I like the fight with Crawford, and Madrimov. I like the fight. But, I mean, some of you are talking like Turki just gave us like a dream match, unimaginable, that we couldn't possibly have seen if it wasn't for Turki. Like, give me a break. Okay? Like, that's as far as that card. Just give me a break. All right? Joe Lopez 40 ounce in the building. Good to see you, brother. With that said, This is Steve Style Boxing. I appreciate everybody tuning in, by the way. All those on X, all those on YouTube, hit the like. And you could always come to YouTube if you're watching on X, D Style Boxing. Hit the like, hit the bell. We'll be back with the podcast next week. ATP Podcast, Galaxy and I. All right, this is D Style Boxing. I'm out. Peace.